Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're back with your favorite podcast, Luca's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my.
Luca Nation. I hope you guys tailed us yesterday. I really do, because Cage, you were 8-3 yesterday, right?
Yep,
I think you were two extra points away from being 9-1.
Well, you can't really, do that, right? Because, a couple of those wins are by half point also. We got lucky on the Nick Chubb running out of the end zone, Texans +4, and they only lost by 3 with Chubb doing that play at the end. And, the Detroit game with Washington was also half point. So, you win some by half point, you lose some by half point. You can't really complain about it too much.
Can I tell you two trends that I want to talk about? First one is Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. So I've watched them. It's the last year and a half, going back to that Texans playoff game. Something I've been thinking about, this is a trend. Anytime they go up by 10, 20 points, it seems like their play calling becomes, I would say, doesn't have a good understanding of game rhythm. Like, how do they keep blowing these leads? It seems like it's becoming a trend, and it's becoming really consistent.
And he had a lead, and then he got a lead back, and then they blew it in the last second. I mean, everybody and their mom, if you take a look at their, the win percentage that that's the in vogue AWS stat. Buffalo had no chance to win, then they had every chance to win, and then they had no chance to win again. I mean, that was one of those up and down kind of games. It was funny. Obviously, in hindsight, it's going to sound like, but when Diggs with 30-something seconds left is on the sideline celebrating, going crazy, I'm like, well, what happens if they don't win this game? You still got to play. There's still 34 seconds left. And
right.
Of course, no one expects a Hail Mary like that, but Diggs has been great. That team's been good. I can tell you what my thoughts are on Buffalo, if you want.
Yeah.
My thoughts are they're not that good. Just the AFC is not that good. I didn't really realize this yesterday until I was looking at the Steelers. Now, the Steelers may be the weakest 9-0 team ever. I mean, the last team.
That was my next take. So let's keep rocking here. Keep going.
What was the last 9-0 team, right? That did, it was like that to win the Super Bowl was with the Saints in 2009, right? But the Saints were like this juggernaut type of team, right? But then I'm watching the Steelers game yesterday, and they put up their schedule. And, of course, it is what it is. And I'm looking at it, and I see Baltimore in 2 weeks, and then a bunch of games that are completely winnable, and then Baltimore out shit the bed last night. So that game's completely winnable for Pittsburgh, too. I mean, I'm looking at it, Pittsburgh might go 16-0. And it's less because Pittsburgh is some sort of a juggernaut team, and they're so great. It's just, you got the Chiefs, who are, the class of the AFC, and even they got beat by the Raiders, and a couple of teams have taken them really, closer than you thought the games would be. I don't think the Buffalo Bills are that good. I just think that, just not.
Well, that's not the actual trend with the Buffalo Bills. I'm saying that if you're betting, and you get them, and they're, they have a 14-point lead. That's a good time to bet the other team, because you're going to get some really nice odds. Not
you're talking like in-game betting.
Exactly. But next, that was my second bullet point. I had 3 bullet points. I think the Steelers are an amazing pick to win the Super Bowl. I think they are the team that nobody wants to see in the playoffs. Imagine this team, a veteran quarterback. He's not as athletic as he used to be, but he makes the throws. He still makes the throws. You got a quick Deontay Johnson in the slot. You got Schuster, who is as reliable as they come. And then you got Megatron. Dude, this guy, Claypool, 9 touchdowns in 9 NFL games.
Yeah. That's funny because, you have to say he's the number 3 wide receiver. Or 2A, 2B with Deontay. But yeah, I mean, look at it yesterday. Everyone had a touchdown. Schuster had a touchdown. Deontay Johnson had a touchdown. Claypool had 2.
But you know this. It's a different wide receiver on 3rd down and 10 when you're on your own 20-yard line versus 2nd down and 5 on the 50-yard line versus in the red zone. It's different wide receivers, and they have all 3 guys. They have a guy that will beat you over the top. They have a guy that you could throw a fade and just throw it up to him, and he'll catch it. And you have Smith-Schuster who'll go over the middle and take hits. And then you have Connor, who's just a bruiser. He's not great, but he's very good. And then
think about that team. Everybody was worried about it. They were going to lose They're going to lose Antonio Brown. They're going to lose Le'Veon Bell. How are they going to perform when they lose all these offensive talents? And they haven't skipped a beat. They're pretty good. And they're built on their defense. They're built on their smash mouth running game, and they have 3 incredible wide receivers. So yeah, I mean, they're a good team. Why?
Do you think the Chiefs want to meet them in the playoffs?
No, especially if Pittsburgh has home field advantage. Chiefs are a different team, in Kansas City. Different team at home. I know the fans are, not really a big part of it this year. Although who knows, that might change. Depending on what state they're in. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody wants to face Pittsburgh. I mean, Ben's done it a few times. He's got some playoff games under his belt, and you also have, this working with you. Who knows how much more Ben has in the tank. This may be his best chance to get another Super Bowl ring right now. This might be his chance to go and do it. Whereas Mahomes, you know what? Maybe he'll get there 4 more times. Who the hell knows? But, what's up?
I said that's right, and that's an extra chip on his shoulder. And the way I think of Ben having enough in the tank, I think he's easily replaceable in the sense that in this year's draft, they're more than likely going to be looking for a backup quarterback, right, or a future starter.
Definitely, 100%. I remember he was injured last year. There's somebody, he was in the same draft class as Phillip Rivers, who's obviously nearing the end of his career. Eli Manning, who just retired. So,
speaking of Eli Manning, God, you're amazing as a co-host. You just lead me into these. Danny Manning.
Danny Manning
is going to win the NFC East for the Giants. That's going to happen, Cage.
Listen,
did you see his scamper into the end zone?
Yeah, I was waiting for him to fall over himself.
He hit 12 miles an hour and they couldn't catch him.
Fast. He's fast. He's definitely fast. He's definitely quick. He's definitely great on that scramble. He's definitely, good at that. Like I said, I was waiting for a turf monster to jump.
I lost him for a second there, but I think he was singing his praises to Danny Dimes. Those are my 3 takeaways. Buffalo Bills, when they get a big lead, they're gonna blow it. The Pittsburgh Steelers are sneaky play to win the Super Bowl and come out of the AFC. I think the Chiefs are. I don't think the Chiefs want to see them. I definitely don't think the Chiefs want to see them. And Danny Dimes, I think the Giants are going to win the NFC East with maybe an 8-8 record.
Sorry, man. I don't think anybody wants to see them. I don't think anybody wants to see Pittsburgh. I think it's a great take. If they go undefeated or continue to do what they're doing, does anybody, they get home field advantage throughout, and that's a tough thing to do. You want to talk about a fun game, and I'm coming from the heart here, but the Raiders Sunday night game is Raiders at home against Kansas City this coming week. So It's gonna be an interesting pick, right? That's 7-1 against 5-3. And does Kansas City get their revenge, or do the Raiders actually take them down twice and come within 1 game of that division with a tiebreak, obviously, against them if they beat them twice? So it's an interesting game. It's one of those games that I thought in the beginning of the year would be meaningless. It would be the second time Kansas City beat us. But the AFC is interesting because you talk about the Steelers and the Chiefs and the Ravens. Are the Raiders fakers? Are they pretenders? I'll give you some credit because, you said Derek Carr was a play this year. You said Derek Carr was an actual player, somebody who invested, and he's played real well. I mean, no picks. Jacobs is everything he was supposed to be. Ruggs is having a good year, and
they're well coached. They're well coached. They do exactly what's expected of them. They stick to the game plan. You could tell they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. They're just all know their capabilities, and it seems like they're playing within their capabilities. I don't think they have the talent. At the end of the day, talent does matter. Mahomes being able to throw across his body and still have one of the most accurate throws in the game, that is a talent. You know what I mean? You can't teach that. So that matters. Claypool being 6'3" and just jumping over everyone, or DeAndre, that's a talent. And I do think the Raiders are 1 or 2 of those big pieces away. But I don't know what the books were thinking, laying -3 to a good team versus Drew Lock. Drew Lock, Jesus, man. It's not all about the fourth quarter, bro. You don't have to throw every pass like it's the last pass you're ever going to make,
The Raiders have no defense. That's the only problem. You know what? Let me take, because you mentioned athletic ability, right? You talk about like Kyler Murray. That last play, it's amazing. DeAndre Hopkins.
That was an amazing play.
You know, amazing. Go up and get that ball, jump higher, catch it at its highest point. Like everything technically sound, right? And Murray, there's not a lot of quarterbacks who can make that play because the scramble kept it alive, and then a righty moving left, throwing the ball across his body 55 yards and giving his receiver a chance in the end zone to get it. It wasn't from the 55, but it was 55 yards in the air into the end zone from where he threw it from. That's an amazing, amazing thing. But here's my take on it, and it's almost, things that make you go, there were people down on Kyler going into that game. He's playing at a good clip. He's playing okay, but, his team's not that good. They're not really going to do much, blah, blah, blah. And it looked like they were about to lose. It looked like they were going to hang another L on them. And then that happens, and everything last night on Instagram and on Twitter was, I got to grab another Kyler card, or, oh, man, I'm so mad that I sold my Kyler card last week, or, Kyler prices are all going up because of one Hail Mary. It really is crazy to watch.
Well, there's two takes on that. One, I hope you guys listened to our play when we both, a few weeks ago, were talking about Kyler Murray Prizm PSA 10s, hitting 1,000 right before season and then dropping below 500 after a few good weeks, actually, it's an anomaly. They were at 450, 480, 500. It's just that. But I'll give you a more X's and O's take. I don't know if you watched the game, but he had a lot of passes batted down at the line of scrimmage and almost intercepted at the line of scrimmage. Did you see that?
Yep.
I have to believe that's going to play itself out, right? As much as we love these running quarterbacks, being tall enough to throw over the offensive line, Cage, you've watched the game for as long as you can remember. How important is that?
It's huge. You got to be able to throw the ball, but
not every play is a Hail Mary where you're scrambling left, throwing across your body 55 yards to DeAndre.
The thing is, you can't expect Murray to do what he's doing for more than a couple of years. Because what happens is he makes up for being able to stand in the pocket and throw over the line with the running plays that he has, where he is so elusive because he's smaller. He gets around the 10-yard line, and Lamar Jackson does a lot of the same thing. The guys, they can't put a hand on him. It's weird because he gets into the end zone. He's not normally in there. Normally, when you're running the ball inside the 10, in the red zone, it's power run. It's our guys against yours, pushing people around. But when he's in there, when these running quarterbacks are in there, they spread the field out, and it provides running lanes for these guys. And they're so shifty that one or two guys are not going to be able to get them. So, but who knows how long that's going to last? Eventually, he's going to have to throw the ball.
QB change for the Ravens, Cage?
No.
No need to hit the panic button?
For Lamar? No, come on. There's still very few athletes in the world that can do what he does. Come on.
Well, he just lost to velvet hat, graduation hat Cam Newton. So,
it's funny you should say that, right? But do me a favor and look back. When was it? 2015. I mean, Cam Newton was Lamar Jackson. Cam Newton won the MVP after a couple years in the league. He was a running quarterback. And, he was that athletic guy who was the new breed of QB. And, that ended quick. Cam Newton is one of those guys. I mean, look, he's bigger, obviously, but he's one of those guys that people who are invested in Kyler Murray and Lamar Jackson and this new breed of quarterback should go do a little quick case study of Cam Newton and see how high people are on Cam at the end of 15 and how they feel about him now, 5 quick years later.
Give you a little context. I looked this up. This kind of stuff, I don't know why it interests me, but Cam is 6'5". I don't know why it's giving me in kilograms here. 111 kilograms because I guess it reads that I'm in Mexico. 245, 250 pounds.
I'm glad I gave you kilograms and you were able to see that because you send me links every now and again, like stuff to look at. And everything is in
eBay,
Spanish.
right? And it's in Spanish.
eBay is in Spanish, and I'm like, what is he sending me here? Google stuff. It's like en español, Google. And I'm like, what the hell is he sending me?
But why I say that, 245, 6'5". He looks huge out there, right? Like when you see Cam Newton.
Yep.
LeBron is bigger. Just to put it into perspective, how athletic LeBron is for his size. We think Cam Newton's big, athletic, fast-ish. LeBron is bigger, stronger, taller, faster, which is just crazy, honestly crazy. But other than that, Cage, those were my bullet points to cover from NFL Sunday. I have a cool play.
Here, let's go.
Okay. Well, everyone is buying who in the NBA right now?
Yep. Everybody's buying who? They're all buying Trey and Luka.
Amazing. What kind of cards are they buying of those two guys?
They're buying. Well, it depends, right? I mean, the common folks are buying the base and the silver.
My play is those guys, but on the auto. Last night, I bought this gorgeous, and when I'm telling you a play, I was like thinking, what kind of play can I bring these guys? Well, why don't I just tell them the card I bought, and they'll look for the same pattern, okay? So last night, for $450, I bought a Trey Absolute Memorabilia on-card auto, okay? And that was graded a PSA 9. I personally think that's a steal. And I think other people should take a look at these to go against the grain, right? You still are buying the main guy, like you want. And I'm sure a lot of people out there are looking for deals, and I brought you guys an NBA hoops play for Luka, so that's a play, but everyone's like, I can't buy the Prizm PSA 10, so maybe I get the PSA 9. I can't buy the PSA 9, so maybe I get the Optic PSA 10 of either player. And they're being priced out. You're seeing it. It's like no one is $600, $700 too late for Trey, $600. And I'm seeing these autos, on-card autos, really nice cards, rookie numbered card autos. They haven't appreciated in price at all, Cage. So if you're a believer in these guys, you could pick your guy. Why not take a look at a really nice auto, which hasn't gone up in price at all, versus going and buying the Prizm, which has skyrocketed to 30, 40%. And I'm talking about not necessarily if you want to flip this before season, because I don't think my card is going to be that valuable before season. I don't. But I do think if you believe in Trey or Luka long term, in the next year and a half, that auto doubles in price.
I like it.
And I could post a picture. You guys can DM me if you want to see the auto I bought. It's the I love Absolute Memorabilia. How many times have I talked to you about that one?
Yep, a lot.
Release. A lot. But so some of them are like these base cards, and I just love the design of them. I think they look sick. But I talked to Rips yesterday, and he was like, well, that's a base card. I don't know how I feel about base cards, and not a lot of people even know about it because it's uncirculated, and there's not as much demand. So I kept looking, and in that same release, Luka and Trey both have it in that Absolute Memorabilia, but you could pick your own release. There's this out of 25, level 2 Absolute Memorabilia Trey Young auto. And the auto, I love it when it's on card. So the big difference, just like Cliff Notes on card versus, I guess, like on a little like piece of plastic, is I think, and Cage, you tell me if I'm right, when it's on card, that means the card was present. The guy actually signed it. When it's like a little sticker, sometimes I wonder if they just sign stickers and then they send it to Panini and Panini sticks it on. Am I right about that?
I'm sorry, I was on mute there for a second, but you're 100% right. If it's a sticker, or you see that little clear sticker, the player does not touch that card. The card doesn't go to the player. They don't sign a sticker with the card with the sticker on it. They get a sheet of stickers. You can look at it. Look at signing sessions of people online. You'll find pictures of them. But Panini or Topps or Rubber Deck or whoever's making the card, they send the person sheets of stickers, and then the company takes those stickers and puts them on the cards when the cards are built. That's why they're able, by the way, to be still making some Kobe auto cards. They're not going to make them all, and you saw that whole announcement that Panini did.
Yep.
They're going to have these new packs of cards and limited numbers and stuff, but they are still going to be fulfilling some Kobe autos because there are some stickers left of Kobe. So
the second thing is a full auto versus initials. Like you'll see when Giannis first started signing cards, he would sign his full freaking name, like all 77 characters. Then he started abbreviating and just putting what looks like a T-A, but it's actually G, I guess. He just started signing his initials. Well, I know most collectors, like real collectors, love full name, full length on-card autos. And there's a lot of good ones out there. When I say good, I think they're undervalued relative to the price of just base Prizm. Like I just got a Trey Young out of 25 full length on card auto for less than his Prizm card. And I just don't think that that's necessarily the right valuation. I think autos are going to demand a little bit of premium. I think the market will catch up, maybe not in 1, 2, 3, 4 months, but I do believe it will.
What's funny about it is my play today was a sell play, and I try to tell our guys what I'm doing. Right, I give you something I'm buying, and then tell you I'm not going to buy it yet because I want to give you guys a chance at a certain card. It's funny. We had our Trey versus Luca conversation, right? And while I came down on the side of Trey, I think Trey makes sense. Trey, this, I started doing some research on some of these cards, the base, the silver, and I like Trey. I think Trey's going to be a great player, right? But his base Prizm PSA 10 is now hovering around $600, right? And may it go up between now and December 22nd when the season starts? Could it be 700, 750? Could it still go up from here? Sure, 100%. But I think that's a card that the pop is so high on. Same thing with the silver, but I'm going to talk about the base right now. I think that it's a card that pops so high on, and the pop is continuing to grow on it that it's almost. Remember we talked about Kyler price for perfection. It's almost price for improvement, price for perfection. The card may go up. Maybe it's $750, maybe it's $800. Who knows? But right now it's $600 without any risk at all. So if you're in that card like me for significantly less than that, and you want to take your profit, I was going to say something similar: buy an RPA, buy an auto of Trey or Luca. But actually, what I'm going to do with the money when I sell and get those in for my Prizm base sales is I'm actually looking for autos of more established blue chip guys. I'm actually going to think about, now you guys don't have to do this, but I'm actually thinking about buying like a Kobe auto if I can find one. Something slabbed, something, authentic. RPA would be nice. A flawless would be nice. I mean, obviously you don't have to go that exact route. Another way of doing it was potentially buying some LeBron cards, buying more blue chip stuff with this, with the sale of this stuff. And your play is actually great. It dovetails with it because this is not me telling you I don't believe in Trey. It's not me telling you I don't believe in Trey at all. And you can even go further than Trey. You could go with Michael Porter Jr. if you see him run up. There are some guys that have run up, some guys who haven't. Somebody like Tatum hasn't run up yet. We covered that this week. All right, so I wouldn't make the same analysis for Tatum. But somebody like Trey, who has run up, if you like Trey, buy more Trey. Buy a Trey card that hasn't gone up 50% in the last 3 weeks. Buy a Trey card that hasn't gone from 400 to 600.
I'm looking for Kobe autos myself, Cage. Kobe autos. I saw when, and I hope we have this guy on to our podcast. He does an amazing newsletter, and I think most of you guys might know him. It's the Real 27 guy. I think his name's Adam, and I'm super excited to have him on our podcast in the next few weeks here. But he has this gorgeous, it's this Prizm Silver 2012 auto, BGS 10. Gorgeous card, absolutely gorgeous card. But I'm with you, man. Kobe autos. Whew. I need to get my first one. I don't have a Kobe auto page.
Sorry, man. I keep hitting this mute thing with my face, so it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I didn't know you were going to be doing the whole sell Trey thing today. But I literally, and just so the audience knows, I sold 4 Trey cards last night, and I was not planning on doing that. But the hype is real, and one pair I sold to someone who I've made many sales to, and I've come to enough messaging him and saying, look, I'll give you a good price on this, but you got to tell me why are you buying Trey now? There's been a run up. Why didn't you buy him a month ago? And he very candidly said, FOMO. That was his answer. He was like, I just want to get in on him. I want to have something of him now. I think it's probably going to go up. And then the other person who bought more also candidly said to me, I'm not sure. If they don't want to tell me, they can say, I'm not telling you why I'm buying them. You got my money, leave me alone. But, people are nice. They'll tell me. The other guy told me he's looking to quickly flip them. He said, I'm looking to buy them now, make 10, 15, 20, 30%, buy as many of them as I can, and, make a few $100 on each one of them and flip them. That's not somebody who believes in them long term or just thinks there's a little more upside to them, which is fine. Neither of those are ringing endorsements, right?
Well, that's back to our trend following strategy. But here's where, and we've got people are starting to understand it because we're getting DMs and messages and our customary thank you so much for interacting with us, for showing us love, for asking us questions. It means the world to us. And, this is just the beginning, and we hope to keep getting those comments and questions from you guys. But it depends on strategy, and that's why we're trying to teach you how to fish. If that's your way of making money in the hobby, or if that's one of your ways, that's a great recipe. No, Cage.
Yeah, it is.
But you need to have a ton of liquidity.
Yep. No, you need to be able to move that around. Listen, there's nothing wrong with it. I'll tell you, I have an overarching kind of thought process here, and it's, I'll sell my basketball stuff now if it's basketball that has run up. And then just like we talked about earlier this week, there are baseball guys who have gone down 50%. And I may not buy the baseball guys this week or next week or even this month. But when no one's looking at baseball, I will take my basketball profits and roll them into baseball and do the exact same thing as we lead up to the baseball season when everybody's looking for Juan Soto again.
It's a little bit about like risk threshold and how long you want to hold, right? You're holding a bit longer than the second guy who's buying those Trey Silvers. He might hold these. He might never see these cards. He might hold them for a week, and you just make a little money on the arbitrage.
Yep. Listen, the silver is it's an interesting thing, right? Because it's it's people's play on pop for that base craze. For somebody like Luca or Trey, that silver is it's like a numbered card, even though it's not numbered. The pop is there, but it provides the liquidity of the base PSA 10 without that crazy high pop number. So I understand the silver. I do.
Hey, give us your crash course. So, and take it back. Give it like a little historical preview here. So you have the base, you have the silver, but you also have these numbered parallels.
Yep.
Do those go up? Like, if the silver has doubled in price recently, and it hasn't,
they've all gone up tremendously. I was actually talking to one of the other groups that were in here today, and I was shocked to find out people were telling me that the Trey stuff was like the hottest stuff at the Dallas show this past weekend, and that somebody paid, I think the number that I got quoted was $3,800 for a PSA 9 purple Trey out of 75. And just for comparison's sake, guys, in February of this year, I bought one of those PSA 10 for $1,600. People are telling me that card could be auctioned off now for close to $10,000. But here's the fun, right? The red one, right? The red, which is
jersey color.
Red and blue are $199 and $299, right? So the red one, which is Hawks team color, allegedly, right? They're telling me that the team color multiple is real. That like the blue Luca is got a huge multiple. The red Trey has got a huge multiple because people like the team color card. And that even though the purple is at a 75 and the blue and the red are $199, $299, the team color is close to the same price as something that's got half as many cards out there. Because people are really looking for that team color parallel, which I guess makes sense from a visual perspective, from a scarcity perspective. It's not, but I guess if there's more demand for it, that will drive the price. So, but yes, 100%. The blues, the reds, the purples, the oranges, they've all gone up. The blue ice.
I don't like the ices. I don't know about you.
Well, it's not one that I mean, outside Devontae Graham, which I have like everything, it's not one that I actively chase.
I got to tell you guys, and sometimes you need to do this. I went back and watched some Devontae highlights. This guy can flat out play, man. I think if there's one card, one player that I think could take a huge next step, that could really put himself into the top 15 in the NBA players, I think it's him, man. I think he's really good.
We'll see. We will see. Don't tell me that. I was thinking about selling some of his stuff too.
Well, his stuff hasn't had the run up that like the sexy girl at school has had.
Nope.
It's crazy. Trey's so ugly, and everyone wants to bang him, man.
Trey's listen.
He has a good personality. He has a good personality.
Something that runs from 4 to 6 though can just as easily run from 6 to 8, and that's what people are banking on.
I don't know. We could do a little quick prediction. This is just fun. We're not going to What do you think that Prizm base settles at on day one, game one?
On like December 22nd when the season starts?
Yep.
I think it's 725.
Thing 905.
Whoa! For the base Prizm?
Yep. I called it. You can ask Wharf.
We're doing Price is Right rules. If it's 900, I win.
Sure. Dude, I remember having this conversation with the Wharf in end of July, and I said that Luka Prizm base is going to end over 1,000. And back then, it seems crazy, Cage, but you remember that was a big number.
Yep.
You remember that? That was not so long ago. For the Luka base Prizm PSA 10 to get over $1,000 was like, what?
Yeah.
No way.
Then it hit 2.
And then hit 2. So things are moving a little bit faster. But there's our episode today. We had a little bit of a recap of NFL Football Sunday. You know, it feels good to get back on the winner's side. I hope you guys tailed. I hope you made some money. But at the end of the day, this is a sports card podcast, and it's all for fun. I hope you guys are picking up on the strategies, tips, education. Cage, what do you got for us? You want to wrap it there? Or you have anything that's top of mind?
No, man. I mean, listen, everybody be safe out there. Do your thing. Have fun. And, get excited, man. Basketball's starting. I mean, look at the rumors today. We didn't even talk about any of that. And then the end of the news. Chris Paul going to the Suns, right? Looks like Schroeder is going to be going to the Lakers. They get rid of Danny Green.
Big pickup.
Right?
They need a score. Yeah.
So, I mean, look, LeBron relied on Danny Green to, hit that last second shot. And it didn't go. I guess it cost him his Lakers status. I mean, who knows? Look, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting week. Who gets moved? I heard a crazy rumbling. It's on, Wojbomb, but it's just his Twitter about how the Nets could be a potential destination for James Harden.
I mean, at this point, why not, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, is he going to play with Durant? Do they get along?
I will tell you this. I'll get Tillman Fertitta, the owner of the Rockets. He's a big restaurant owner. And if you want to talk about someone who's had a really tough financial year, it's this guy. This guy owns more restaurants in the world than anyone. Like huge empire. And if you guys want to listen, Gary Vee had a great Ask Gary Vee with Tillman. I think he might need to be cutting some costs, so to speak. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And getting rid of Westbrook and Harden is a cost cutter. It's a savings. And he doesn't have as much money as you think right now. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. But there is that offloading the salary thing that might make this a real play. I think it's going to be a dumpster fire and a disaster. I can't wait to see it. It's absolutely. I think it's the reward we deserve. I think it's the reward we deserve in 2020.
Maybe tomorrow we do an NBA draft episode. My son wants to.
I would like to. The whole plan was supposed to be him hopping on today. But yeah, I would love for him to come on tomorrow.
Yeah, well, we will. We'll see. We'll see how he does in school. But yeah,
awesome.
Guys, listen, thanks for listening to us. Let us know what you think. And we hope you're riding along with us. And listen, guys, we'd love nothing more than when you comment on what we're talking about. You think I'm insane for selling my Trey cards? Tell us. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments there. How the hell are you going to sell Trey? Go into the season, he's going to score 33 and 10, get it on the record. And then a month into the season, when he's averaging 35 and 11, you can say, look, I told you so, Cage. There's nothing better than that in what we do. A little I told you so. So,
well, Luca Nation. So a few of you guys have asked me, let me just touch on this. Our December PSA submission is open. And it's going to be rolling submission. So don't ever feel like if you guys send us your cards, we're just going to toss them away if we didn't accept them in the November submission. It's a rolling submission. Send them when you feel it's the right time. Our goal is to have these submitted to PSA by early to mid-December. So send them away. If you have
we closed the last one on 11/7. Same thing, 12/7. We'd like to get your submissions in by 12/1. That way we clean it all up and we're getting it out by 12/7. But yes, send now because that's a couple weeks away. And you got the holidays, you got Thanksgiving, you got all that stuff. So if you have stuff, get it in the mail. And also, it's a great public service announcement. We're definitely going to be breaking some boxes on Friday. I'm going to be getting in playoff football 2020 hobby boxes. I'm going to have a bunch of them. So couple people have expressed some interest in it. We're going to have them probably cheaper than anybody else out there. So, stay tuned for an announcement on that front as well, guys.
We're going to create, so we appreciate, because we're bare bones. Like, people have been really flexible with us. We're going to create a system that allows you guys to pay and all that stuff way easier, but thank you for bearing with us in this time.
Yep. Yeah, guys, listen, we're not a professional breaking organization. We'll become one, but we do have the opportunity to bring you guys stuff cheaper than anybody's bringing it to you. So, we want to make sure that, we bring that value to you and you're able to actually break some product, because product now is just so expensive. You can't find it, and anybody who does get it, they mark it up 200%, 300%, 400%. So we're not going to do that to you. So, if you do have some interest in finding that Tua, that Burrow, that Herbert, the playoff hobby boxes that are going to come out, let us know.
I almost forgot about Tua. Man. What a story.
About Tua. What a story is right. What a story.
3-0 since the bye week, since I chose him to bench Fitzpatrick. I turned the keys over to him. That line, what a fuck. I hate when they do that. I hate when Vegas does that stuff, plays games. I hope you guys capitalize, because that was a stupid line. Anthony Lynn on the road at a pick'em. Okay. Don't even get me started. But dude, I'm happy for Tua, man. That was, some people were talking about like a career-ending injury, a dislocated hip at 20 years old.
Oh, yeah.
To even have the chance to come back, and I love that. I love stories.
Listen, you got to go back and talk. A couple weeks ago when they announced he was going to start, I said that's the guy you should be putting your money on at like 7 or 8 to 1 for offensive rookie of the year, because while he may not be as good as Herbert, he may not be as good as Burrow, he may not put the stats up, especially for a whole year, because those guys have a head start on him. He's going to be the one that has a chance to take his team to the playoffs. And that's going to matter. And he's done nothing to disappoint that. He's done nothing to let the team down, the team, potential playoff team. So maybe some of you guys took that advice. Who knows? Can't take all my advice. It's not all going to be right. That one was, though.
Yeah. Don't sleep on the Patriots either. They're making a run for that division.
I don't know. 5 losses in their first 8 weeks was it's a tough hill to climb over, but we'll see. We'll see what happens.
See you guys.
Everybody. Thanks. Thank you for spending some time with us on another episode of the Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze Oh My podcast. Do us a favor and like, subscribe. You know what? Don't just like and subscribe. Everybody does that. If you like us, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, tell everybody. And we hope you got something from spending some time with us today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.